All right, cool. The market that will never die. That's what we have going on right now. If you look at it, though, uh, we had a very similar run to what's going on right now, starting from October, basically November of last year, and then it's just been straight up until Inauguration Day, and then we had a little bit of a correction, then right on back, and then correction, and then a little bit of a struggle, pull back, and then more recently, 16 days in a row, straight up. And so the last couple days, we've just been sort of topping, which is interesting. But that can just be the kind of calm before the storm, the consolidation before the continuation, right? So we'll see. Tomorrow we have Fed information coming. That is probably why the market didn't get too bold today, didn't take too many huge risks. And then Thursday and Friday, there's further economic numbers coming. And of course, we have Apple earnings tomorrow. We just had Google and Microsoft. There's big earnings this week. And so that can shake the market around. And so I think everybody's playing it a bit safe. And so today was a small candle. It didn't go any higher than yesterday, but it did dip a couple times lower than yesterday. But still, both days within the previous day's candle. So non-consequential. We had non-consequential movement yesterday and today on the market. And that's pretty typical preceding some Fed information and economic numbers like we're having this week. So yeah, we're looking at that candle right there. That was today. So that's what I mean by it made a lower low, but not really a higher high. It stayed within that range. And the range of both candles are within the range of this previous candle over here. So that's just, neither here nor there type of day. And typically on a day like this, the stocks lack direction. Difficult to find stocks that will just stick and continue. They tend to just chop. So days like this, weeks like this can be difficult for day traders. And then for swing traders, we're still waiting for the market to form something that looks like direction so that we can get in. Let's take a look at the VIX. The VIX is the fear index, essentially. Today, also within yesterday's range, basically 18.2-ish from 16.8-ish. So pretty tame. The market very good when it's below 20, which it's been since all of April. So it's been a very nice April, pretty smooth sailing. No big rocks in the market too much, and I hope that continues. And then if we could take a look at some sectors, you can see on the sector by sector basis, while today was not the greatest day for tech, it was still, again, within levels of progress. If we just zoom up on that, you can see that tech made actually a higher high. So while the market didn't make a higher high, tech did. But tech also struggled a bit and had dipped down twice lower than yesterday's low. Again, not a big deal because tech in general was above the last several days of trading's range. So that's progress in tech. And then let's take a look at XLI. XLI on a pretty mad run, along with rates. 10-year rates are the ones that are really driving the show during this reflation of the economy, double topping and then dropping. So that's what's been kind of shaking around the market a little bit, causing difficulties with traders and investors and the hedge funds alike. We were expecting pretty much an uptrend in rates for the rest of the year. But we do have a bit of a correction moment going on right now in rates. And so that's sending base materials and industrials into a correction period as well. And as rates go up, that can also be good for financials. So if we look at the financial sector, you can see that financials are doing quite well, as industrials and base materials. And energy does well during reflation, but as I mentioned last night, oil tends to top out. Experts agree that oils should be topping out about $65 a barrel. So if we just look up crude oil, let's see, which one do I want to choose here? Probably this one. Right now we're at about 63, pushing $64. So we're right around the right range. And that's why oil made that appreciation run from about $35 a barrel all the way to about $65 a barrel. And oil affects the whole market. It's amazing how much the entire market is driven by oil. So good to watch oil. All right, now let's go through some of the tickers you'd like to take a look at. Anything that you think that maybe has potential. I'd be happy to look at it on a swing trade basis. Fedex. All right, so Fedex had a good day today. Was ended yesterday at 280 and hit all the way up to 292 today, and then putting this topping candle in. But what we have is previously topping and consolidation in this range here. And then it actually went on a bottom reversal run in that range. And now we're going to head back up, hopefully, and possibly break out. If FedEx breaks out, it may go back into a trend, which could be really important, which could be a big deal. So got to keep an eye on that and see how that continues. Alex says CM. CM, Canadian Imperial Bank of Commerce. Man, that looks great. Looks like a wonderful stock to channel trade. Essentially, it's got this channel that it's been in. And looks good for continuation. It's got this U formation here that looks like it's going to continue and break out on. And it's definitely in a strong trend. And I hope it continues. So, yeah, I think I like that one, Alex. Yep. Very much so. Crocs, yeah, let's take a look at Crocs. Crocs was a beast today. We did very well on that, day trading it. Look at that candle way up in the stratosphere. Amazing. So I hope that's an igniting continuation. That would be really awesome. I would like to see a couple of days to see how it settles in. Because exactly, Kelly. I'm a little bit scared about this huge void right here. And I wouldn't mind to see it come back down to the bottom end of this channel at some point. And if it does, then I certainly will get back in. But I'll also go with momentum if I see it. So if tomorrow it breaks today's high, that will be interesting. I might leap in for a swing trade. You guys over on TikTok, see if you can press the question mark button and ask your question there. And try to do more than just put a ticker. let me know something about why we're going to take a look at it. Jedi, your account's at 28K. Nice. Ready to day trade. Oh, wow. Amazing. All right. Private message me, okay? And we'll talk tonight. EXPE. Oh, Expedia. Yeah. Well, Expedia seems to still be doing well, even though travel has been hit, pretty hard. That's quite an angle of appreciation, a rate of return right there. Boy, imagine getting into Expedia back at the lows in the 40s. It's now 190. Outstanding. Yeah, looks good to me. Doesn't look like it's ending. Yeah, that looks really good, Nikki. I see what you're doing. You're trying to find some channeling stocks to trade. Well, I don't know that now's the time to get in. Like if that's what you were doing, if that's what you're trying to figure out, it would be nicer if it was down here at the bottom end of the channel. But yeah, good pick. Certainly a good pick. Oh hell yeah, Kelly. Oh hell yeah. Oh, I'm gonna alert Crocs. Yeah. Going back on Crocs for a minute. I mean, that was just our poster boy for what an uptrend should look like for the longest time, and this is what we stared at for the longest time. And then we started getting in. Eventually, it started topping out on us, and we couldn't get the trades to work. And whoo, boy, if we just had some more faith. But that would have been a long time for your money to sit. So that's not a good idea to have your money sit. That was almost 3 or 4 months of just stagnation. GMBL, you have no clue where it's going from here. It looks like a downtrend. So, see this? There's high, lower high, lower high. If you count today, lower high, and you have low, slightly lower low, lower low, lower low. So that's a downtrend. You just, why guess is my thinking. Why guess? Why gamble? Ironically, when you could just find something else like Deer or Crocs or something that's going up. Why look at something like this and go, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. Maybe I can pick the bottom. Well, yeah, that's only a low probability. But, you can get into something that's just going up and up and up and up, like this one. This is Deere, the tractor company, or Crocs. I guess we'll be able to go back to Crocs now and show how what an uptrend looks like. But no, even more seriously, Deere is even more consistent. Why is there a candle void on the chart there on Crocs? That gap you're talking about right there? Because price was one thing yesterday when the market closed, and then news came out, and then before the market opened, the price changed. Like, I mean, if you go to buy a car and the prices have been raised, they don't go smoothly. It's like the next day when they open the dealership, the prices are higher. I think that should make sense, right? All right. Let's see. One piece of advice for an 18-year-old, someone asks. I know this is gonna, I don't know, depending on who you are and your situation and everything, but this, you may not like to hear this, but as a bird getting its big wings and ready to fly out of the nest and everything, you may want to stay. Your parents are going to kill me for this. You may want to stay living with your parents, get a job, a good job, work on a good job, save money, all that money, just like fanatically save money. Take that saved money, start investing it. Eventually, when you get like 20 grand, maybe 50 grand, buy a real estate rental property. Get one of those as well. Start to diversify your investments. Anyway, I don't know if that's probably not what you wanted to hear, but basically focus on saving money, focus on not spending money to the point in which you have no money in life. I think that's probably the best thing I could tell you. at 18 as you're starting your life. Don't fuck it up by spending everything you make. Dumbass idea. Instead, save, 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 save. Do everything that sounds not sexy, and I swear to God, later in life, you're going to be the biggest winner in the room. Let's see. We got another question over here. Alex, what are you saying here? Kelly says, best advice ever. Thanks, man. We got it. We got to tell these kids the right thing, right? We got to back up. If you could tell your older self something, right? Let me get a bigger chat script here on my screen because you guys are asking a lot of good questions. Faraz, you're late again. GSAT. PJ Green wants to take a look at GSAT. I thought I had an unfinished ABCD, but alas, no. What do you see for near future? And when you're talking about ABCD, you're talking about a day trade, PJ? What do you see for the near future? So the near future, this is a huge candle right here, this green one. And that is like an igniter candle. So that's definitely a bottom reversal. This is like the beginning of something new. In other words, the future of GSAT's going up. Probably there's a new sentiment in a huge way. And PJ, you can't expect that every day is going to be an up day. Just because today was a down day doesn't mean it's not, correct. It's not going up. It's going up. It's doing good. In fact, today went higher. As long as it keeps making progress in some ways, higher lows or higher highs, then it's still in an uptrend. All right. So don't lose the faith. Looks good. Right. PG, Procter and Gamble. PJ, Alex, try to accompany me your picks with some kind of a reason why we're taking a look at it. Procter and Gamble, basically topping. There's a perfect heads and shoulders. You see that recently? Perfect heads and shoulders with a triple top to boot right there. Doom, doom, doom. And heads and shoulders itself is a triple top. So it's like a multiple kind of heads and shoulders pattern. And then now struggling at that neckline level and failing. So the question will be, is it going to break back down below that recent trend low, or is this just motion to eventually break through and come to the upside? I don't know, but I'll tell you this: by the time you find out, it's going to be December. Like, go make some money on something else. Kind of like, who cares? PG, nah. Let's see. Can you show us, like in losses situations, how to get out? Ken, great question. But I'm going to reserve trading strategy for members of the Discord. So just click the link in my bio and get it, come on over to the Discord and get a trial to the Discord and ask that question in there, or click the link in my bio. No, you can do that. It's the same thing, but Linktree. You can check out my Linktree, Linktree/ChartTrader. And you might be able to get some information there. I definitely can show you some of that stuff. It's really amazing how to know when to get out. And a crucial skill. Ford. All right, good. And we got a little bit of a description next to the symbol request here. Ford. Should I buy more? Hold what I have? What's up with Ford? I guess is the question here. Yeah, Ford is in an uptrend. And has been struggling, lately, but the whole market has been, frankly, during this reflation because of that topping out on rates. So Ford's probably still looking good and appreciating. I don't know what kind of return you're hoping to get out of it, but it is in an uptrend, and if you like Ford, you're doing okay. As far as holding or buying more, that's very specific to you. So like, you definitely need to have at least 20 positions in your portfolio and make sure you're not maxed out on anything like that. All right, back over here, we have some questions on the YouTube. Matthew says, how do you feel about Crocs with the pop it recently had? I sold out for a small gain. That's fine. And then just let it settle in, right? Kelly, identified it right. Today was an unhinged candle. And so, get out at the end of the day. And tomorrow's a new day. What was the one that we were looking at yesterday? I think it was a CCIV or something. And today it was red. Yeah, CCIV popped up, and today's red. And that's still progress, So this is why you get out of, like an unhinged stock. I don't think it was this one, but this is another example. But this is why you get out of an unhinged stock at the end of the day. You only day trade it. Next day, might have some pullback. Great. So you're out, you got your profits. And then you can just let it settle in. Let it see what it's doing. By the way, if anybody wanted to take a look at CCIV, there it is. This candle was very strong yesterday. Igniter candle, meaning it probably is going to ignite some kind of a move to the upside, a new sentiment. But we do want to see it break that recent pivot in order for it to be fully confirmed reversal off the bottom. Otherwise, it's just a momentary glitch. What was this? And check out ASO, says Jesus. ASO has a really high short interest, and it has great numbers, and knocked off 40% of its debt. ASO, Academy Sports and Outdoors. Yeah, it seems to be in a nice uptrend. I don't know. It was recently listed in October, roughly, and this seems to be its business internal rate of return, that bottom line. So now, I'd be looking to wait until it gets back to that line in order to buy in, so that I know I'm at the one of the most optimum points for entry. Can you tell me if GRWG is bullish or bearish? Okay. We talked about this before. We were looking at these stocks. The fact that it made a lower low down here and essentially broke trend. There's basically several signals saying this is in a downtrend, but it's been consolidating lately. So it may continue to do that. It may wedge for a few more months, like this, into this kind of a formation. And then really it ought to continue, it ought to go north again. But again, let's say you were holding it at 65, which is the high way up here, and you're just bag holding, waiting 5 months to get back to exactly where you were. Is that the best use of your money? You probably should just take the money where it is now and go put it on something else that's making money. And you probably will, in just 1 month, recoup those losses. Bag holding is just never a good idea. I can think of a lot of better things to do with money than bag hold it, right? And that's what you should do. Kelly says, regarding the memberships to our trading group and community, Kelly says you guys should get the free week trial if it's still offered. Yes, it is. He does this all day, and tomorrow is free. He trades all day on Zoom. So you get in and out when he does. It's freaking awesome. And he explains everything clearly, so dumbasses like myself can understand. So come on into the Discord and change your portfolio for the good. Kelly is going to be our new copywriter. All right, let's see what other questions we have here. MVIS. Oh, that was what it was. That was the one. MVIS. Today, I think it had a bad day. And this is just the perfect example of why you don't swing trade stocks that are unhinged. You get out at the end of each and every day. This is why. This is exactly why. This is, because you don't know when what you're trading is going to end up like this. This is the perfect example. So you get out at the end of the day. You got out at 26.5, and then today, no trade. It never went up. It went down all day. No trade. No need to lose any money. But I presume probably some people got talked in to MVIS. They don't know anything about trading. They got talked into buying it. No one talked to them about when to sell. So they're holding and they're right back where they started from. Actually, they're down a little bit probably. So anyway, yeah, you got to day trade stocks at this point. You can't hold stocks overnight that are unhinged like that. And by unhinged, I mean they just went wild. They started to put in just crazy candles that are not normal. Like these ones are normal, like just normal, making a little progress every day. Progress candles, right? This is saying like, whoa, what's going on? It's not quite fully ridiculous yet, but this is ridiculous. That's wild and ridiculous. And it's got this space in between the candles over here. So it's completely detached, unhinged. Yeah, you don't want to be holding that overnight, as some of you may have learned. So no, that's probably a good. Well, the person asked, I sold a lot of Mavis. Was that a bad move, or whatever it's called, Microvision? I always call it Mavis. I'm just gonna call it Mavis. I don't care. Somebody told me to look into Path. Yeah, all right, let's take a look. Okay, it's been Path. Yeah, we traded that IPO a couple days ago. So Path still progressing. Okay. You know, I would like to see I like to see these IPOs kind of like settle into a lower price. Like let's look at it more like this. I like to see, this is what I like to see over the course of like a month or two. I guess I'll try doing it, withdrawing it. I like to see the price, you know, start to come down, find a bottom, and then come back up. I might buy something like that when it's in this region for a starter position. And then as it comes back up, before it breaks out of the previous high over here, and then when it breaks out, I'll buy more. And then they tend to go on a couple of months of trying to find a high point. So that's how I like to play IPOs with swing trades. I'm like, we got to wait like a month or two or maybe 3 to see where it bottoms out. Sometimes 6 months. Let's see what else we got over here. Givo got in at 870. Is coming back up. Had a good day. Givo 870. Let's see. Givo is in a downtrend. It broke these higher lows that it was putting in. It did that most pronouncedly on the end of February. And ever since, it's been flipped short. So it's now a downtrending stock, a stock that's being played out on the short side. So they're just milking you, and it's going to be probably just a penny stock in half a year. Doesn't look good. All right, back to the group. Kelly says that he was 18 and lost his entire fortune by doing the opposite of what Evan said. He spent it all, I guess. Hey, good night, Nikki. You got it. Did I cover everything you wanted to cover? All right. Yeah. Real estate is booming now. That's right. Okay, so Faraz says he decided to pick up TWI at the bottom today. A nice bounce. Thoughts on the chart? Let's see, TWI. So we looked at that today for us, right? So you picked it up down at what, 1060, something like that? Okay. Yeah, I like it, you know, and for a long hold, in case you got in mid risk, you know, and let's say it pulls back some. Hopefully you got more time. So, you know, that's why I say you want to get like 3 times the amount of time as your expectation, because you may not see it come back to where you just bought it for a month, you know, or a month and a half. You never know. So you got to leave some room there when you're not buying it on the bottom end of the channel. Here's the bottom end of the channel right there, right? So you did not. You bought it towards the top end of the channel, like the high risk area. And so now, prognosis forward is, of course, it probably will continue to appreciate, but it may take a few months. Let's see. I've been measuring my weekends, working as how much I can just throw into my TDA account. I've been measuring. Yeah. I mean, I think I understand what you're saying, Alex. You're doing what you can to put more money into your TDA account and keep building it up. Okay. I think that's what you're saying. Okay. Cool. Man-made for a swing trade. I think that's what you say. Talking about, Lee. No, I'm not sure. NMD. Okay. Mind medicine. There we go. I found it. Oh, this is brand new. I can't tell you nothing about it. There's nothing that I could tell you. Today, it opened, it went up, and then it went down. That's all I can tell you. So, how do you expect to make a good decision on that from there? I don't know. I think people are taking a lot of risk when they get in at the beginning like that. There's really nothing I can tell you. Let's see. Over here, LTNC has a very interesting chart. Can we look? All right, so that looks like the beginnings of an uptrend. We've seen that in like Jivo and all those other ones. It will come to an end. Like, this is not a growing business. This is just hype. Labor smart. So this is a penny stock in an uptrend. But these are all hype spikes, you see, because it sort of like plateaus at these levels. It doesn't do like what a stock that's a business does. This is not a business. This is a piece of shit. Like, you go over to a business, and this is what they do. They go up every day, and they make measured improvement every day. It's a fight between people who say deer will never make it, and people who are like, oh my gosh, I got to get some deer. And that fight is not ridiculous. It's measured and sensible. You go over to LTNC, and you see that people seem to have no basis for their fighting. Just like massive pops and drops, and maybe one guy that was negative just turned his back for a couple days because he went to Hawaii or something. So the stock went way up, and then he came back, and the whole thing got fucking blown back down. I mean, but is there any basis for it moving around in price on the business basis? No, nothing. There's nothing. Otherwise, you'd see nice, sensible, measured debate, and you're not seeing that. Evan mentions deer so much, I think he wants a ride in my tractor. There's a buddy seat. I wouldn't mind that. Let's go take some photos. Photo op. Alex, earlier you asked for SNA. Let's take a look. Snap-on. All right, boy. See, that's what I'm talking about. This nice, measured, smooth appreciation of price. Yes, I like it. SNA, good investment. Looks like it's doing great. And it even gives a 2% dividend. So that's nice. Thoughts on blockchain, BLOK. This is the ETF that follows, I believe, a bunch of crypto, diversified crypto play. And that pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? That pretty much sums up the crypto market right now. It's just, kind of in a topping pattern on hold. That pretty much sums it up. It wasn't an uptrend, and then lately it's just been called into question, went to hold. We were getting into that with SOSMAR, Riot, Bitcoin, Ethereum, but it just basically did not come to fruition, and we had to adapt. So we're not in that anymore as of a week ago. But let's take a look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin. The issue with Bitcoin is the break of the higher low that it made just recently. That was not good. So we were making higher highs consistently, and then we broke that low right there. And it may not seem like much. It may seem like just, a little bit, but what it means is that we no longer have to get all the way up here and then continue, to the moon. It can go up and give you trap a lot of money for a while. We can go way up here even, and then come back down and scare the pants off you and do it again and again and again and again and again. There's a lot of room for Bitcoin to be on the short side now, and that could go on for months. So I think that's affecting the whole crypto market. Yep. Okay, so one person wants me to take a look at Shield. Is that a coin? Yeah, that probably is a coin. Let's take a look. I could tell by his rocket ships. Can you take a look at Shield, SHILD, with rocket ships, and it's all promo looking? Yeah, that does not look good. It's been out for only a few hours or days or something, it looks like, right? But anyway, from what you're showing me, it doesn't necessarily look good. It's going down. That can easily change and then create something bigger over the course of a week. We'll see. Yeah, he put the rockets all over it. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Make sure that I got all of your guys' stock picks here. Rommel says it's too late to get in. Yeah. Awesome, Ron. Like on Deer. I wonder if you were talking about Deer. Or no, was it what? With TWI, that one we were looking at. Yeah. All right. Back to Bitcoin. Now, back to Pinterest. Sure, Pinterest had an interesting day, didn't it? Or had earnings after hours. It's down a little bit. Well, Pinterest has been topping for a long time. If you were to just draw that right there, you basically have this region in which Pinterest continues to love to come back into, and then it has some moments of hype where things go its way. But overall, it looks like it can't get higher. So it may have been hot for a while, but now if you look up Dow theory, it's now in a distribution phase where people are just taking profits. And that's likely what happened when the price jumped up over here, is these people took profits up there, right there. And they did it again over here. And eventually everyone's going to be flushed out who was on that run, and then the float will have rotated, and then maybe it can continue. Either that or it's going to come back down. So we'll see. But right now it's sideways. Pinterest is sideways. Yeah. Somebody put AMC with a rocket ship. Let's see. Square, the new wave from the YouTube asks for Square. Let's take a look at Square. So Square has been just absolutely insane since the March 24 low of last year, where it was at 32. Square has now hit 283 in that time. So that's pretty amazing. But what you got to recognize is what was a nice measured, smooth return started to get hyped up, right? And now it started to break that trend a little bit, started to test your faith some more. It's getting more volatile, much more volatile, breaks trend right here, goes on a run, very volatile. All of this huge volatile type of movement is topping ranging motion. So likely Square is topped out, and everyone's taking their profits now. It's over. on Square, and could do that for months. So yeah, that's what's going on with Square. But man, boy, did it have a run. It was 311% year to date. And then NVAX, somebody asks what I think of NVAX. So NVAX had like a pretty huge day today. We were in that for day trade. But you know, a very sloppy chart. Like, what's the rate of return of the business? It's something like this. It seems to have gone on an increased angle recently, so they're doing even better. It looks like, but I certainly wouldn't want much part of it while it's in these hype stages, because you don't know how high those spikes are going to go. I would love, to be planting seeds along the value line, this line on the bottom edge. The bottom edge line, very important. Learn to do charting. Find that bottom edge line. That's your business rate of return, internal rate of return. Dude, Muds was on fire. My old lady loves me more now because I got her in that when it was $12 on the October 5 strike. She had 98 Delta now, and I got dinner. Yeah, very nice. And then, of course, the Muds W would be even better. But let's see. Sundial, SNDL. Sundial Growers, pretty inconsistent stock. We looked at this just, I think, last night. And again, you have that internal rate of return value line on the bottom, which you actually are able to get in now. Somebody might say, why would I get in now? That's because that's what it looks like when you're down at the value line, right? It isn't until later when it's putting in these huge candles like this that you go, oh my God, should I get in? And then Rommel goes, is it too late to get in? And yeah, it's too late to get in. You should have got in here, before it happened. So now's a nice low risk time for you to gamble, to take the risk, a low risk on it. If you want to get in up here, if the stock ends up doing that, I'm not saying it's going to do that. I'm just saying now is a nice low risk point where if you believe in that stock, if you give a shit about that stock, you can put some money on it, put some money where your mouth is, right? Now it's a good time to get in. Continuing to move down the list. Sundial and CTRM both ran so well this morning and dropped throughout the day. Should I buy both tomorrow morning? So that was about, what did you want to know about lottery calls, Alex? Interesting. CTRM. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really think that CTRM looks like Sundial. Not too good. And Sundial doesn't look that great either. But yeah, this is the end of something that was happening, which got broke right here. And now this chart is upside down, you see. It's going this way now. It's going down. So at a certain point right here, the stock flipped from being something going up to something going down. So it's over on that one. Don't touch that one. All right, we'll take a look at Win. Wow, a nice, measured, a beautiful uptrend. Anyone who likes to trade channeling stocks, this is the kind of stock we like to look for. You just have to figure out that channel. So you can grab the channel tool in TradingView and try and figure out what is the channel on this, right? And it's not that easy. You have to make some subjective judgments, but something like that. And in that case, you would want to wait to buy until price is on the bottom edge of the channel, and then sell near the top end of the channel. And if you're getting options, you want to make sure you have enough time to hold for that whole period. That's the basis of how to channel trade, channel swing trading. EGLX was something I got into in the past 2 days. I've watched it jump 50 to 80 cents over the past 3-4. The chart looks good to me. How does one make heads or tails of news to know whether what we're looking at is good? Yeah, I mean that does look good, but I will show you what I see. Number one, that you have a very nice linear business rate of return going on the bottom end, right? But what I am seeing is these jumps, right, away from the line are getting more pronounced. See, they're getting bigger. That's usually a sign that it's pretty much over. That it's going to go and then eventually down, eventually down. Uh, I think that it's close to an end on that, but you could still give it a try. Just I would be careful to make sure you buy on the value line only. Remember, I've said that many times. This is what I call the value line. So make sure you keep your entries on the value line. Don't get out there in hype land. I guess you did already. So, all right, good luck to you. Can I look at NAO? Sure. It didn't come up. So is that a cryptocurrency? What is the NAO? Nope, didn't come up over there either. Nope, I'm not sure what happened there. Did you put a correction in? But you actually wanted to look at Neo, but you didn't know how to spell it? Wow. Okay. Anyway, so Neo has broken down. You know, it had that rate of return, and I think that most traders that were trading Neo knew that it was pretty much all hype and a lot of hot air. And you can see the moment when the stock flipped, went from being in an uptrend to being in a downtrend. It's just so clear to me, you know, so clear. So it's been putting in lower lows. This like most recent couple of days, a glimmer of hope, but today erased. What's it going to do from here? Is it going to put in another lower low? It would seem like it. It would seem like it's on a slow boat to death. But we'll see. We'll see if Neo can become a real company or not. It just doesn't seem to be able to return any results in the chart. We already did GSAT. Somebody actually wants me to take a look at AMC. What you want me to take? What you want me to find for you? Okay, I'm looking at it, right, and we know that it has no basis in reality. So we already know that, and I guess you could say it's been making higher highs. I just think that it's very risky, and good luck to you. You better know how to trade. You better be a good trader if you're trading stocks that have no merit. Then you're going to get yourself in trouble. I mean, basically, all you need to be is a trader in that situation. So if you think you're investing, oh my God, please. All right, keep it moving, keeping it moving. Yeah, we looked at that. He thinks your tractors are sexy. Probably. Let's get some photos. Applied Materials looks really steady, but I always freak out when I see SPY drops, so I always end up pulling out of it. Well, yeah, we are in Applied Materials, and the thing is, it's making progress. If it's not making a higher high, it should at least be making a higher low. Okay, so you know our entry, I forget where it was, but let's assume it was on this best day here. Let's say that's the best day that you could enter it. Stop goes below the lowest point, and then it makes progress each day. The low, right, went up. The high went up. The low went up here. The high went up here. The high did not go up, but the low went up. That's progress. The high went up and the low went up. The high did not go up. The low went up. So it's making progress. And especially of a note is that every single day on the low end, it's making progress. Now, one of the things it could do, hasn't done yet, but it could make a higher high. So it could make a higher high like that, but make a lower low that particular day. And so that's still progress because it made that high up there. It's just you can't be sure if that was the end, that moment when it hit up there. Like the next day it could be down here, and now we made a lower low, a lower high rather, and a lower low, and that would be bad. But I don't really think that's going to be the case for applied materials. Although the beginning, the first few days of a trade are always the most difficult. So I don't blame you for being a little concerned, but you've got the channel here, which is effectively something like that. And we are just moving up along the bottom end of the channel, and we're waiting for it to get past the middle 50% line on that channel. Once it gets past the middle 50% line, then we can go into defensive mode, and we'll start to we'll let it go in its last couple days of appreciation up to the top of the channel, and we'll get out somewhere up there, 156, something like that, for a few $1,000s of profit. And if we don't, we can get out when the candles stop making progress. That's the point. I just got into stocks. Robinhood gave me a free share of CBay. Is it good? All right. Probably not. Probably not. Don't hang any hopes on that. V-Chain. Green candles look like. Let's take a look at V-Chain. So, V-Chain has this sort of rate of return that it's on. And recently it did break down on that. It is starting to make progress again. However, it can do that. It's almost like going from fourth gear down to third gear. It's like, we were over here in this channel, like, wow, like even in like fifth gear, right? And then we got back into fourth gear, and now we're in third gear, and it can channel up third gear for a while, right? And then fall down to second gear. So, right now it really needs to get back up above and into this channel in order to show renewed strength, because right now it's showing weakness on V-Chain. From YouTube, let's see if I missed anybody. Can you look at the potential of ZY? No. I mean, I just looked at it, but I can't tell you much about the potential. One of the things you can do with such few candles is you can take the breakout of the opening range. So on day one, you had that range set, and then eventually it got broke. Second day did not break, but the third day it broke, and it broke on the upside. And if you had gotten in at 41.25, you'd now be sitting at 45.33. I believe probably options have started trading on that today, or they will tomorrow. Thoughts on Walmart? I want to find a good entry, but the chart looks weird right now. All right, let's take a look. So let's see if I can zoom out to a level where it makes sense. What's interesting is this right in here, this whole like region in here, that was the crash, So, Walmart wasn't affected because it has so many consumer durables. And then like people they're allowed to go into the store, to buy the toilet paper and to buy the consumer durables, but they can pick up a TV, they can buy some clothes too. So Walmart really is a really excellent stock to be in during any kind of a crash. As we can see, we've just learned, right? But that's interesting. That was back then. Then it went on this nice run for the last year, but that started to top out, and now it's putting in lower highs, and you just can't ignore that. I mean, if you just learn how to read charts, you can see it clearly. I don't want to be in that stock, and you shouldn't either. These are lower lows, consistent lower lows and lower highs. And yeah, that can reverse. Like this could have been the bottom. We don't know. And then now it goes down here and it makes a higher low. And then it goes up here and starts to make a higher high. But the thing is, until it can get back above this point, it really hasn't, like fully redeemed itself and gotten back in to the kind of trend that it was in. But you can take a bit more risk when you get a higher low, like over here. And then you can certainly, when it breaks out like this, like Apple did recently, you can start to grab a hold of that possible uptrend that's converting. Let's take a look at Apple, by the way. So Apple's just been on a monstrous 8-month topping period. It's just been not that helpful. They do buybacks. So one thing I was showing you last night is that it's kind of in this wedge formation right now. But what I was just alluding to is that they do buybacks. So even when Apple does kind of poorly, the stock price continues to go up artificially because Apple's always buying it back. Great, that's good. Who cares, right? If Apple's making moves that cause the stock price to go up, great, excellent. Even if it's artificial, who cares? That's good for you if you're long, right? So anyway, but it doesn't necessarily mean that Apple's doing great, and sometimes it can catch up with it. So maybe we're going to have a correction soon. We shall see. It certainly has been struggling for a long time. What if earnings tomorrow are just inconsequential? Everyone's expecting Apple to have a miracle. Either it's a miracle or it's going to destroy the market, right? I have heard nobody say, what if nothing? What if Apple's just doesn't do shit? Like it's just like numbers that weren't good or bad. How about that? All right, well, then it's just going to continue this wedge formation that's going on, So anyway, we'll see tomorrow. Yeah, it's coming right up. That's going to be really interesting. You said for us, looking at the 3-year chart on TWI, it seems it's about to break out of old all-time highs. Okay, well, you got to be very patient on 3-year analyses. All right, so make sure you have a 4-month or more long option, and you wait for a long time on that probably. Green candles look like they are losing momentum on Bitcoin. Probably. I know what you're saying, Kelly. He's saying that I didn't see that, but specifically. But yeah, see, they're getting shorter. They're curving down. Yeah. And other than this really big candle here, which is significant, that can be a capitulation candle. I mean, that is very strong. But other than that candle, basically you have mostly large red candles and tiny greens. It can be as simple as that, really, truly. So that can signify a strong downtrend going on now in Bitcoin. XRP, somebody asks. XRP, yeah, I mean it has been growing steadily, measured growth for a long while, but then just got really hyped up in the last month, and I'm just not sure if it's going to be able to hold the hype. So yeah, when people start to redo their valuations in that. Skills, that's another one, right? Just like MVIS. Yeah. Skills, another one where it put in this huge igniter bar, then the next day gapped open and came all the way down to where it was, but that's still progress. This igniter bar, very strong, good stuff. So, you know, maybe some people got worried when that bar pulled back, but then we have, I mean, if you look at it like what I was talking about earlier, what we were talking about applied materials. If you take a look at skills, one thing lately, one thing you can note is the progress, higher lows every single day. It really, like, if you just train yourself to ignore like what the day does and just look at the bottoms, you could see that it's making progress. And then let's say it does pull back one day down to here, but it made a higher high. That can be progress as well. So we, you know, we've got the higher highs forming across many days. So skills is doing well. After like just a couple days ago, all I was saying about it was how dead it is. But this is like renewed. This just one green candle has just, it's basically some new, it's almost like changing CEOs or something. I don't even know if that's what the news was, but it's literally like a new stock now. That's basically what's going on. It's like it's a new stock. This is an igniter candle. It's the beginning of a new. Let's see. Bearish top on square. AB long term hold. I think you've mentioned that a couple times. Yeah, AB looks great. Boy, it's been on a great run the last couple of days. Look at that. From 39 all the way up to 43. Really nice channel trade. Oh, Kathy Woods bought a shitload of skills, so that's probably maybe what happened down there on that igniter candle. Space has been crazy volatile, but seems to be maintaining an increasing bottom trend line over the past year. Down at that line right now. What are your thoughts on a swing? Seems to be a pretty good risk reward. If it breaks 20, you could cut, but upside is all the way up to 40, 50, 60. Yes, but you don't know how long it's going to get to 40, 50, 60. But let's take a look at that. So yeah, I mean the value line, like you know, where you might be excited to get in on space, is all along that bottom. You know, $20 being the best price lately, but can it get to this level of hype again? You probably shouldn't rely on it. What you really want to rely on, if you're, you know, getting into something for, let's say, the long term or even medium term, sort of waiting for some kind of a, you know, appreciation, what you should really rely on is this angle of this right here. This is the business kind of internal rate of return, that value line right along the bottom. That's really all you should rely on. Outside of that, you can just take profits if it ever has an incredible day, incredible week, incredible month, whatever. But for me, this angle is way too slow. You know, we basically went from, you know, there's other stocks that have a better rate of return than that one. So that's what I don't like about that aspect of that. Let's see. Yep, we did that. UPS up 20 points. UPS was quite the trade today. We got it all the way up to what, 296, 196 or whatnot. And then also Crocs today, we got all the way up to 101. Very nice. Yeah, UPS had been topping, and same with Fedex for a long time. Since July, really, of last year. So almost a year of just your money just sitting and rotting. Not fun. And then what you'll notice is that when it does have, say, good earnings, like previously over here, it pops up and then goes into another, you know, long range of a long time of letting your money sit. And that's not good. So, you know, that happened right now. You basically have a couple days of appreciation you might be able to grab. We just day traded it. You can do that for a couple days. But, you know, I don't think like UPS is going to be this huge runaway success for a year now, for 365 days in a row. It just doesn't show that it does that. It's just not that kind of stock. It's a very sideways kind of stock. They basically must have very terribly thin profit margins. Let's see, space and deer. You know what I haven't heard is, Evan, what would you like to look at? You know, like what would I like to take a look at? Well, what I like looking at right now is SPY, because basically it's guiding my decisions. I am waiting for SPY to have its correction. You just think of me as like a lion in the bushes, just waiting for that kill. I'm waiting for SPY to get back to the bottom end of the channel, and when it does, that is when I'm going to enter a whole bunch of positions, and the run that it'll go on from there could be worth, for me, 50,000, $200,000 over the course of a few months. So I'm just waiting. I am just waiting for my moment for SPY to come back, and that's when I'll start, like, on that moment when it has pulled back to that line. I'm going to start going through hundreds of the best stocks. I'm going to say, okay, which ones of these are at the bottom of their channels and have been running, and that's when I'm going to just start planting a bunch of seeds just like that. But of course, I have a huge position in BizD, as some of you know. So I'm in like reflation. I'm in reflation stocks. Basically, yeah. Kelly says, yeah, the back of his eyeballs. Yeah, exactly. Just waiting. I mean, I know you guys love to trade the market and play the market, and we do it every day. And there's often really good opportunities. But by and large, like, remember we talked about, I think it was last week, that your portfolios should be, predominantly savings, and then next to that, like an economic portfolio, like for 20 to 30%, and then a 20% to 30% portfolio of swing trades, and then you have this like small, portion of your entire wealth that you use for day trading. You should not be selling everything you have, taking all your money and then day trading with it. Like, that's not really the way to allocate your risk. It's all about risk allocation. Let's see. There you go. Ooh, Alex. Alvin arouses himself with TE, linear regression models. Yes. I surely do. In fact, no, I don't have it now, but I did have a linear regression channel tool on my charts for a while. Boy, you nailed that one. AMD had an amazing quarterly earning. Yeah, AMD, I can't remember. So was that after market close or before? Because I remember AMD had a good pre-market, and then we were looking at it, and it just didn't perform today. It was red all day. AMD continues to top. It kind of looks like it's forming a heads and shoulders pattern back down to zero. People still want to know Doge, like that's an actual question. like what I'm gonna tell them about Doge is gonna change what they do. Doge has just been consolidating right at 50% retracement. I think it's a good time to get in if you know how to get out. You'd need to get out if it breaks this recent low, but your risk level will be pretty low, which is good, and you have a lot of reward potential. Tomorrow is going to be a long day for me. Yes, that's true. But just a few more here. Yep, a bunch of Doge. What software am I using? This is Think or Swim from TD Ameritrade. Oh no, this is TradingView, but I use Think or Swim from TD Ameritrade. This one. And if you'd like to open an account over there, send me a private message with your first and last name and email address, and I'll send you an invite, and then we can both potentially get like a bonus stock for you signing up through me. All right, cool. And I'm sure deep in these questions somewhere are, and what are your favorite indicators? And like we always go over all these. Target looks better than Walmart. Oh, it sure does. Yeah, it sure does. Let's take a look at Target. Yeah, Target really does lately. Last like 2 years. They have been doing a lot of different things to make more money, partnerships, restructuring their stores. So it looks like it's paid off. It looks like it's paid off. Definitely better than Walmart. Yeah, definitely better than Kmart. Let's see. Do you think Tesla's going under 700? I think it easily could. It was hit 706 today. Why not? Uh, for me, when it broke this trend line right here, and then came back and bounced off of it, it was looking good. But the last 2 days, it just doesn't seem like it can follow through. So, I think this week could be very interesting to see if it can follow through or not. Yeah, if it does break 700, that's not good. But next really key level to break is 670. Once if it breaks 670, is a no-brainer that it's going to 590. So 670 goes to 590. If it were to break 590, whatever point that happens, easily goes to 550. So there's a lot of key breakdowns very nearby. Breaks 700, it goes to 670. Breaks 670, it goes to 590. Breaks 590, it goes to 550. God help us if it breaks 550. I don't think it can do that. But if it does, by the way, it will go to 460. Previous support. I don't know. Things aren't looking that great for Tesla right now. And the world's getting more and more competitive in that sector. Rain Man, yes. Yeah, that's funny. You should have known I would have said spy. That's the top thing on my mind right now is spy. All right, everybody. Good little overview of what's on the market. And tomorrow we'll be live day trading all day. So everybody on TikTok, make sure you click the link in my bio and join our Discord right now. So you'll get the notification in the morning of when we start trading all day, and you'll be able to trade with us. I told my girlfriend you really like the Tom Cruise movies and quoted Rain Man. Without telling her what you said, she called out, definitely. Oh, that's good. She knows all the Tom Cruise movies. They're really, really great. I mean, yeah, he does get involved with great product. And I don't know if you know this, but way back in the days, he made a big move, a gutsy move, and he took a ton of his money and bought what was it? TriStar Pictures. And in any event, with that, he picked up the Mission Impossible franchise, and now he's of course where he is. Amazing entrepreneur. I like entrepreneurs. Tom Cruise, entrepreneur. I like The Rock, except for the fact that, well, his politics. We just won't say. But yes, everyone, good night. It's been nice. See you in the morning. We'll be trading all day. See you in the morning. You can't handle the truth.